What's up?
It's funny because I sent the link to you and Joe at the same time, and you went on instantly, and Joe's going to be like probably like 4 minutes.
Are we recording?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool. What's up? This is is this video podcast?
Yeah, now it is. Yeah, now we since quarantine we've been doing it like video style. We put it up on YouTube and we put it on like audio too. So if people want to watch, can go to the JV Squadcast on YouTube and check
Like
it
and
out.
subscribe on
Yeah.
YouTube. This is my first ever podcast.
No, that can't be true.
That is absolutely true. I've always like avoided them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, are you afraid of like getting in trouble with your job?
No, just I don't know. It's always been like, oh yeah, come on my podcast. I'm making this up. No one's ever invited me on a podcast. I'm trying to win free guacamole from can we say corporate names on here?
Yeah,
is that okay?
Yeah,
from Chipotle. Chipotle is giving away free guacamole for a year.
Of course.
And you have to unlock some like password thing. So I'm trying to figure that out. That's literally what I'm doing right now.
That's fun. And then we have Joe joining us now as well.
Wow, what a pleasant surprise.
I like your microphone.
Thank you.
Wait, why do you like his?
Oh, well, it's silver.
Yeah. Now, which one do you like?
I don't have a microphone.
How's that?
It's good.
Yeah, do you mind just holding the remote control from now on?
That's true.
Yours actually, this is probably going to make a lot of noise, but I don't care. Yours headphones. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. What's up?
She got excited to see KONKO. Less so, Joe.
We've been hanging out a lot lately.
Yeah, it's true. She got new shorts.
I know.
Big deal.
So I was driving to get a haircut yesterday, and it was me and Allie. She was dropping me off actually because she was going to Staten Island, and we were both drinking Berry LaCroix, the seltzer.
Yeah, of course. And
we pulled up to a light, and a guy was crossing in front of us drinking the same Berry LaCroix seltzer. And he crosses by us, and I roll down my window, and I go, LaCroix boy! And I and I held out my can, and Allie held hers out. And then just then a truck pulled up and, like, blocked us from him. So he turned and saw it, heard it. He turned and looked, and it was just like, it didn't, like, track what I was trying to do. Oh,
man.
So I don't know if I made that guy's day better or worse.
I bet you he thought you were making fun of him, especially since he didn't see you with that.
And it would have been a nice gesture, I think it's funny, people, when you have the same car, you're like, oh, we have the same car, or the same
the Jeep wave
or something. Yeah, exactly.
If you're in a Jeep, you wave at a guy in a Jeep.
Is it specific to Jeeps?
That's a thing. They call it the Jeep wave.
Oh, that's fun.
And they're like, hey, you're in a Jeep.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's like I thought that'd be fun to do for a seltzer because no one does that,
I'm so embarrassed by like when I have something in common with someone because the things that I like are so lame and the people who like them are so lame. But I'm not. But like if I'm on my electric skateboard and somebody like is also on one and we're passing and they're like, I'm like, I just ignore them. I just like
you said this. You don't like to like acknowledge.
No, I don't want to be like an electric skateboard guy. I want to be Bam Margera.
Do you have a niche thing, KONKO?
No, you don't. Not now.
Not now.
No.
A niche thing
that you recognize and that you wave at someone else when you pass by.
Patagonia.
No, not Patagonia.
What do you see? You just had a.
There's kid. Actually the Masters thing is a weird like golf thing. Like if you wear a Masters shirt. It's always men. Another dude will come up to you and be like, "Oh yeah, Masters, did you go?" And then you have to I have to go. No, I didn't go. I just like to watch the Masters, and my buddy Tommy bought me this. Like that's like a thing.
That's funny. It's like Supreme or something.
You
it's
just
like,
had a kid recently
for dads.
I did.
Oh, yeah, exactly. When you pass by someone else with a baby, do you hold it up and you guys nod
at
each other?
I did the first.
I had sex too.
Yeah, we did it.
The first week he was born, I was getting my car washed, and there was a woman with a newborn at the car wash, and I didn't have him there. So I'm just a random guy just standing there waiting for my car to come through. And I go up to her and I'm like, oh, how old's your baby? Like, I just had one. And it totally it didn't work at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe it's
but I was trying to connect.
Maybe it's their second kid and they don't care as much about the second one.
That's true. Casey, do you wave at other guys in the street when you see them with a parasol?
Yeah. Yes. when I see
Do you twirl?
when I have my umbrella and I see other Asian tourists with their umbrellas, I'm like, we're the same. So I thought you were going to ask about the puppy, because the puppy thing is like everyone.
That's a huge thing. Yeah.
Everyone stops me on the street.
We went for a walk yesterday with it, and it was like a celebrity on the block.
Yeah, Joe came to visit, and we went for a walk, and everyone stops. There was this like Russian family. Were they Russian? Ukrainian?
No, that was Spanish. That was 100% a Spanish. Like, that's one language.
I don't see language.
Okay.
I don't see language. So they stopped, and they were like freaking out over the puppy. They were melting with how cute it was. And I started to like do all the tricks, like sit and down and all this stuff. But she's just sleeping in the crate behind me right now.
It's our fourth guest. So
do I have to go this way?
It doesn't matter. That looks better, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So did you introduce who we're talking to, Casey?
No.
Who are you?
Just don't.
Our listeners.
Just let me be. Keep me anonymous for now.
Well, at the bottom of the screen, it does say KONKO on the left side. I think when you.
Oh, well then, it's KONKO.
That's pretty anonymous.
I like that you don't have your first name.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not that many. There's like 40 of us in America, so.
Yeah, that's true. I love the name. I mean, like we've always talked about how it's like a Japanese name that you have. KONKO.
It's a Japanese religion called Konkoyo, and it's based off Shintoism. I've looked into this because I tried to buy konko.com, and it redirects to this Japanese church. And if you go to it, it says the KONKO churches of North America. And I was out in San Francisco like 4 or 5 years ago, and I found the church because I wanted to take a picture in front of it and be like, oh, cool, it's KONKO Church.
Yeah.
And there was a Japanese gentleman coming out. He was coming out of the church. I'm standing on like the ground pointing to my name, KONKO. And I went to him and I pulled out my license, and I'm like, this is kind of like the master story. I went, hey, my name's KONKO too. Like my last name, isn't that funny? And he just completely brushed me off. Like he was like, all right, I could. Pissed. Yeah, it was very embarrassing.
He was probably like, this gringo, right? That's how they talk.
Yes, exactly.
I've heard that Japanese people are quite racist, so maybe that was it.
Really?
Possibly.
Yeah.
You've both been to Japan. I've always wanted to go.
It's great. Awesome.
Yeah. I think we talked a bit about it before I went. I was asking for some tips, I think.
Yes, we did. We did. I don't think we've actually talked about your trip because it was a while ago, but I really enjoyed it. I think about it a lot.
I mean, I wish I looked like you when I was there. Just the tallness factor, the tall blonde factor, I think must have been very fun.
Schoolgirls, probably like high school age, would like laugh at first, like because my head would brush up against like buses, and they would like embarrassingly stop me. Like they'd be all embarrassed and shy. And they're like, "Can we take a picture with you?"
Yes, I heard. And then I was like waiting for that to happen to me, and that did not.
And I'm
happen.
like, "You've never seen a 6'4" tall guy, like blonde guy," and their teacher would get like really embarrassed, being like, "Oh no, like don't bother him." And
I gotta get one too.
And they would like, it happened like 3 or 4 times, and the Japanese schoolgirls like really like weddings. Like there's a big wedding culture. It's very important.
Really.
And they would want to see like they're like, "Are you married?" And I'm like, "Yes, this is my wife, Jenny." And like Jenny would be like, "Hi," and they'd want to see her ring, and she would show the ring, and then they would be like, "Oh my god!" And everybody would clap. It was awesome.
That's so cool.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
I think that's really fun. Just like
yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's really sweet. I don't know the culture out there is cool.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Did you go to Tokyo and also Kyoto?
Kyoto, yeah. And a day in Osaka.
Wow.
If I walk around, is it distracting or am I?
No, I don't give a
around?
shit.
I think it's
cool.
Very Sorkin-esque, and we want more of that on this podcast.
Yeah.
Cool.
I actually, KONKO, just talk for a second. I'll make you full screen.
Yes, I got a bunch of stuff. These were from are like from Jenny's dad when he went to Japan, and then these fans we brought back. I don't know. I kind of want to do like this is like a spare bedroom, but I want to like turn it into like a
appropriation
like a traditional Japanese room. Yeah, pretty much. But more honoring. I thought it's cool.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. So I was thinking the other day. So I've been watching more like Japan, like films. Like I've been talking about them recently, like Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away. And this is stuff that Joe has seen, and Joe's fiance Allie is really into. But I watched Cowboy Bebop today.
Really? Oh wow!
Because that's one that you love, Joe.
Me and Pat really like bonded over that one.
And that's an anime from the 90s, 2000s?
Yeah, I think like 98.
Anyway, so I forgot about this, but the opening theme song is this song that Joe also used to make a Flash animation of like the old band he was in called Furthermore. And where does that still exist?
Yeah, I think you could find it if you go to newgrounds.com.
Oh my God.
Newgrounds still exists?
It should.
Uh-huh.
And my username was AssClown. It's called the name of the movie is Further Quest.
Uh-oh, it doesn't. So hold on. I have to check. Further Quest?
Yeah.
One word?
Yeah.
Wow, I found it.
I'm surprised that you remember the song just from hearing it.
Oh yeah, I mean that was such a weird thing that you did, in a good way.
No, I know. I agree. It was weird. I mean, I never did anything like it before.
I do want to see it though. Can you hear me?
Well, if you want to find it, you go to Newgrounds and look up Further Quest by AssClown.
Yeah, well, what I remember is that you learned how to do this whole thing that none of us had ever really heard of. Although I guess Mark was doing it too.
Well, he was the one that told me about it. He was doing very simple. I think some of his, I remember the URLs for them. I just remember them. I think it was angelfire.com/jazz2/markmaffei/spaceman.swf. Something like that. And it's just
wow.
a spaceman jerking off. So these very rudimentary animations, at the time I was just like into my computer and figuring out what I could do with it, anything I could do with it,
So KONKO and I grew up together, and then we went to high school together too. But when we
obviously to us, not necessarily to listeners.
But KONKO kind of ran with like a kind of a more fun, like typical in a good way, like high school crew that would be like in a movie, like what's the one that's like Fast Times? Not Fast Times. What's the other one?
Staten Island Summer.
Yeah, Staten Island Summer. King of Staten Island. But I think that, what did you think of us, KONKO?
Well, you and I always had a weird friend and me type of relationship. That really? Like I've completely forgot about. But my mom, like if we go back even to like being 9-10 years old, whenever I mention Casey's name, she'd be like, "You two used to fight in the pool, and Casey would drown you, and you would try to like hit him, and then you come up being like, I'm not friends with Casey anymore." And you were so mean to each other, which I don't really remember too much of, but
no, I don't either.
I like the fact that like that was our relationship.
But what's the difference is that could have happened like one summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not any other ones.
Day.
Yeah, because we spent, since we were, I don't know, 5 years old or 6 years old. I don't know how old you were when you joined. I was a member since like a kid, like since a baby, because my grandparents were members. Were you always there?
Yeah, since I was like 6.
Okay, yeah. So yeah.
Well, I would come as like a baby with my grandpa,
right,
and my grandma at the time. But then we didn't join as a family until I was like 6 or 7.
Did you keep your grandpa's voice message?
No.
Can you?
I haven't memorized.
Can you do it for Joe?
No, I don't want to do that.
What was this?
It was so funny. Do it. I'm gonna do it bad if you don't do it.
Okay, you could do it. Yeah.
He called me. He was like, "Hey, KONKO, it's Grandpa. I just wanted to ask you a question about something. So give me a call. Numbers. I forgot my number. Give me a call and tell me my number."
Yes. So he goes, "Chris, this is your grandfather calling. I'm at home right now. I got to move the garbage cans around for a little while. So you call me back. I'm not going to be at the phone. Give me a call back at 9." He started with 914, and he goes, "Wait a minute, it's 718." And he goes, "That's not my number. That's right. Your number." He goes, "Well, you know my number, so you better give me a call back."
It was so cute. I love it. You played it for me at the swim club.
That's a cherished memory I have of him. As that voicemail.
Yeah, that's great.
Me and KONKO went to the same college, though we didn't hang out that often. We both went to Binghamton, and I guess you were 2 years my senior.
Yeah.
I think. So I didn't, have occasion to hang out with you too often. I should have, but I was going back and forth a lot doing like paragraph stuff which was me and Casey's old band that I kind of, took me a while to like integrate into college life in a way. But I remember that one party we went to that you took me to in Cortland, where like I got like some kind of scuffle with the guy. Do you remember? Do you know the story, Casey?
I think I remember it. Yeah. I think you just recently told me.
KONKO's like a wizard because I remember getting into some scuffle with a kid because he was talking shit about Staten Island, and for some reason I felt like I needed to defend Staten Island, and he sucker punched me, the kid. I think I was like bleeding a little bit from the mouth, but he like punched me out of nowhere, and it was getting heated. And KONKO was like, "Jojo, come here, just come with me." And you took me to some like attic in the house where nobody was, and you were like, "Watch this," and you just started doing card tricks, and like calmed me down. And I was just like, I was ready to fight. I'd never really gotten a fight before. It would have been a terrible idea in every way.
Yeah.
And it was great. I was so happy. It was such a cool, like, taking me under your wing moment, even just bringing me to the party. Yeah. I really appreciated that very much. Everything about it.
Were we there with Brendan?
It was
obviously we're Cortland, right?
I think it was his place.
Was it the giant castle house?
Yeah.
So it was a giant, like, I guess it was a fraternity house called the Castle. It was like this Victorian mansion. It was like absolutely gorgeous. And Joe and I are there with Brendan Quest, and I lose Joe for like an hour. And then Joe comes back with like, he's holding his mouth being like, I just got punched in the face. And I'm like, what did you do? I wasn't even like, and I'm never like a fighter like that. I'm like, what did you do? What did you say to do? And he's like, that's it. Some guy. And I'm like, dude, we can't fight here. We don't know anybody. Like it's you and me.
You're right.
And you were so angry and you kept going. You're like, I gotta get revenge. Like I gotta do something. And I'm like, just calm down.
That's
like,
Joe.
Don't be an idiot. Here's a card trick.
KONKO, you just did such an accurate impression because I remember there were always things in Joe's life where he's like, how should I respond? Like, I need to do something. That's like a part of who you are, is like, you know what I mean? Like you feel like somebody like got the best of you and you're like, I need to retaliate in some way.
And I'm like talking it out or something.
Yeah. And sometimes you do something and sometimes you don't. And it's just nice that you have the conversation.
I like to talk things out. Part of the process is fun.
When I went I was just trying to think, like I went to Binghamton, I think once to visit Joe and you.
Yeah, you were a nightmare.
I don't remember much from it. Tell me everything. I know the big story. The $20.
The overarching
What?
I don't know if I remember this.
I neither do I, but I definitely was there, right? Was I staying with you, KONKO?
You were staying with Joe.
Wow.
And then somehow we all split up at some part of. I was so excited because like I talked a lot about you. I was like, oh man, my buddy Casey's coming. It's gonna be great. And like it's the worst when you talk somebody up so much, and then like
there's nothing you can do.
And then he just shows up drunk, and it's the worst version of.
Yeah, and so throughout like the night, I think you accused Bill or somebody in my house of stealing $20 from you out of your Velcro wallet, and your brain is so one-sided thinking that that's all you could fixate on, and you're like, KONKO, where's my $20? Somebody took it from me. And I'm like, nobody took. Now $20 in college is like $500 now,
especially 2006 money.
Yes, that's like a lot.
Recession
and especially when you could go out and drink all night for like $5. And so Casey was like so angry, and I think he was like accusing Bill, and my buddies were like, what's with your buddy so Casey? What's going on with him? And I'm like, dude, you gotta calm down.
I can't picture you doing this.
And then towards the end of the night, like, he's like, KONKO, just give me my $20 back. You know, just give me $20. He had a $20 like folded up like in his wallet, and he took it out. He was like, oh, I found my $20.
Oh my god.
And like, yeah, it was just.
I must say, I think I remember having a suicide bowl. Is that what it was? A scorpion bowl.
The other thing that was good from that night that I remember was. Casey and I like to just walk into random parties. Joe, I don't know if you were with us for this part.
Oh my god! Thank you for bringing this up.
And we see like party lights and music blasting from this house or like apartment. So Casey and I are like, oh yeah, we're gonna sneak in. We're gonna walk up the stairs, and we walk in.
It'll be a cool party.
And there's a bunch of like goth people with makeup on and like apes.
And like a loose, like, you know, like those like Jerry Seinfeld shirts, like the puffy shirt.
Yeah, the pirate shirt. And you and I like looked at each other and we were like, hey everybody. And then we were like, vampire party.
Yes.
We just ran out.
Yeah,
I remember the story. I wasn't with you.
We call it the vampire party. That's good. That's a good. So that's like a legendary one that I think about. I do remember that, and like when I think about KONKO times, that's up there. Also, I've told this several times, but there was a time that we used to drink at Wolf's Pond Park. Was that what it's called? Jack's Pond. What's the one near you?
Jack's Great Kills. Jack's Pond.
Great Kills. Yeah, Jack's. And we used to drink there with I love that crew too. It was like such a good mix of like just different people, like Hill Girls and the high school and I remember one time we were going home or like walking to a car, and I've told this before, and there was a lawn and somebody had just raked their leaves into a bag, and we opened up the bags and spread them perfectly back on the lawn. Like that's something that you and I did that we would never, if someone did that to your lawn today.
You kill them.
Yeah.
Well, in Staten Island, if somebody caught us, like that would be very bad.
Yeah.
That would be very, very bad.
It's so genius, though. I almost feel like if it happened to me, I'd be like, bravo. But yeah, that Binghamton, I remember it was called a Scorpion Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And what was that bar that would sell those?
The Rat.
Yes. So I was like, you got to go to the Rat, and you got to get a Scorpion Bowl, and that's why I think I was like out of my mind.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Do you still go back there ever, KONKO? Do your friends
I have not been back since. I haven't been back in 10 years. Yeah.
Didn't we know who bought the Rat at some point?
Yes. Yeah. The Pasquales. Yeah.
Do they still own it?
Yeah, they do. They've actually changed a lot of downtown. They own a number of businesses down there.
Oh, wow.
I mean, pre-COVID, we were like doing really well. Yeah. They own like a number of restaurants and.
That's cool. Did you like? I feel like you KONKO, you had like of anybody who's ever been to Binghamton probably had the best time. Is that like an area like if you could do it again, would you go to Binghamton?
KONKO used to drive around in a little Red Bull Mini Cooper, right?
What?
Yeah, I was like the Red Bull guy.
Yeah,
and the Playboy guy. You were the Red Bull and Playboy guy.
It's true.
Playboy?
Yeah.
Why Playboy?
There's a Playboy guy too. I was their campus rep.
So you're kind of like in college like the Scambone king. You hooked me up.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I can't. That's why I'm like king of Scambones, but I can't share a lot of these Scambones.
The college ones? All right, I'll tell you one that you hooked me up with. There was this site called Mania TV.
That wasn't even a Scambone. That was above board.
But it felt like a real scam because they were like, we want you to post flyers on campus, like 10 flyers in 5 different areas, right? And then take a photo of it and email it to us, and we will pay you. Was it like $25?
Way more. It was probably like 50 to 100. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah. And I did it like 3 times and was like, this is great money. And then I was like, I don't want to do it. I did it. I should have done it so much more. I think I remember like even the 3rd time I submitted photos that I had already submitted, because I was like
the Scambone.
The Scambone was just such an easy job to make money, I always remember people being on campus with clipboards being like, want to make some beer money?
Oh, that's so funny. That's how they like reach the youth.
Yeah. But wait, so so you can't talk about, do you have any other Scambones you could talk about?
No, I think that was the best one because that went like 20 colleges deep. So
and did you get like a recruiter fee?
Yeah, it was like a pyramid scheme where everybody I recruited other people, and then it kicked back up to me.
Wow. Who'd you have to kick up to?
The boss.
You do a good Tony Soprano.
Sorry, I've been watching way too much. It's bad. I'm back in.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, it was like I recruited Casey, and then Casey recruited Garrett. Well, no, you guys were at the same school, so you. But yeah, it just went.
Did you have to kick up again further?
No, that was it.
Wow.
Wait, whatever happened? What even was Mania TV?
It was Tom Green had a show on it. It was pre-YouTube. YouTube.
Oh, so it was like a Newgrounds. It was a fark.com.
It was content, and I think Tom Green went there, and like as soon as YouTube came out in like 06, 05, he like brought his show there, and they were live music videos, and they tried to become like a platform. I have no idea what happened to it.
Wow.
That's so funny that YouTube got so big.
Yeah, I guess it was 05, 06 when it came out, but I don't remember watching much YouTube in college.
No.
I don't know.
I didn't start watching YouTube until like a year or 2 ago, really. Like where I watch it like a lot.
Yeah, but I don't even feel like I watched. I don't remember watching videos in college. Like it wasn't part of my daily
remember
life.
like watching like that like Lonely Island sketch or something like
Yeah.
that.
The dance
Quality was so
guy.
bad.
Yeah.
Which dance guy?
The evolution of dance. He was like OG.
I don't remember.
Charlie Bit My Finger. That was OG. The keyboard cat.
Yeah.
Wow. It was basically what like these like GIFs are now, right?
Jizz?
Like it's what Jizz is now. They were just really short things, and now YouTube is more like 10-minute videos, like explaining how to like fix a sink.
The night watchman at the Great Kill Swim Club's name was Jism.
You remember that?
Yeah, he was my boss at night. Jism.
It was Jism. We're still at a point where we're laughing at a person's name.
Yeah, name like that.
Wait, there's something I want to. You just said I wanted to ask about
YouTube or about Mania TV. You can't talk about
KONKO. We're both into.
You were asking me about college.
Yeah.
And if I liked college, yeah, I like college. If I were to do it again, I wouldn't go to Binghamton. Too cold. I mean, awesome education, cheap, but you can.
Where would you
I
go?
would assume the South would be better, and football, like, and then having like a big stadium and stuff, I think is important.
What's the like if money was not an option, or like, you know, and you could, looking back now, like what school would you go to that you could get into? Because you were
have
smart.
the knowledge now?
Yeah, but you were who you were then, like in terms of what you could get into, which was a good amount of schools. Like you were a pretty smart guy.
Probably still Binghamton, to be honest with you. Yeah.
What?
Wasn't even a money thing. Fairfield. I liked Fairfield a lot. It was just, that was close.
Did you apply to many schools? Did you apply to like a Princeton or anything like that?
No, never stretch. Binghamton was the stretch.
Really? Is that good of a school?
Yeah.
It's a good school.
Wow. I mean, I know it's.
Me and Joe went there. We're geniuses.
Yeah. You know, me and Casey have way different jobs. We went to different colleges.
That's true. I had the job first, technically.
Yeah, I know.
Which is sad.
Crazy.
I studied Mania TV.
I turned my phone off. Shit.
Off?
I hit the button.
Sorry,
folks.
I was pretty smart. Oh, I hit the button.
Sorry,
Call me
folks.
back. You know my number. Call me back.
All right, we're back. We're ManiaTV.com.
You can't talk about the Red Bull thing. That was a.
Oh no, that was a legit job. I was just a guy on campus that used to hook up the different clubs, like organizations and stuff, with Red Bull. But that equaled free Red Bull, and
but even like contacts
that started a lifelong addiction, though.
Yes.
You had contacts at the clubs. I mean, that's social currency in a way. You know, it's very
and it was cool. No, I enjoyed it a lot. But and the brand and everything was neat. The Playboy thing was just it was the same thing. It's campus rep, and I don't even think Playboy exists anymore. Does it?
I
think it's a magazine that doesn't do nude. Always.
I thought they were gone.
I think they became like a Maxim, but maybe they're gone.
Yeah, I remember you open the trunk of your Red Bull Mini and there's a bunch of Playboys in there. It's just the funniest combination. You want one? I think it was like Brooke something.
Brooke Burke?
Brooke Burke, yeah. I think that's.
Is that a person?
Yes, I think that's the issue I had.
I can't believe you guys just did that. That must be some Binghamton
I never heard of Brooke Burke before. Yeah. Well, that was the Binghamton Bearcats and the Binghamton Brooke Burkes.
The other time period that we went to college is Facebook starting. And so obviously not everyone knows this, but when Facebook started, it was just like each college had their own Facebook. So we had like the Rider Facebook. You probably had the Binghamton Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, they weren't networked together.
And then they made one that like combined it all called the Facebook.
They opened it up to the masses, which you needed a
.edu email.
Yes.
Which is crazy. That's so fun. That's so weird that was the time period exactly when we went to college.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Joe, you had it for all 4 years, right? You had it freshman year?
I guess so. I don't recall exactly.
We got it junior year, going into senior year. And I was in Europe. I met this random girl she went to Harvard, and she was like, yeah, this guy Mark I know is I'm not kidding. It's like, is working on this Facebook website, and like and then that became Facebook, I guess.
Mark who? Which Mark?
Mark Maffei.
Yeah, Colin like didn't know him, but like that they were like around the same year or something. So
I think he's on the
literally there during Facebook.
I think he's getting grilled by Congress today. All of them are
because of the surfing thing.
Yeah,
surfing.
He was surfing with whiteface.
Oh no! You know what I just thought of? Surfing with the alien, Joe Satriani. Remember that guy?
Yeah,
I remember Joe Satriani. I don't remember this. That was the album.
Yeah, but that's Silver Surfer on it.
I never listened to it. I just remember the name of it because it's.
I've listened to it. I was big into the shredding.
Yeah, you liked Eric.
Steve Vai?
No, I like Steve Vai. I didn't like the Eric guy.
Yeah,
Eric Johnson? No.
Eric Johnson.
Yeah, that was his name.
Which was the one that was like beep-a-doo-dee-dee-doo-dee-dee.
Yeah, his big song was Fields of Grey. I think.
Fields of Grey. What a title.
Eric Johnson. I have one Eric Johnson song, and it's Cliffs of Dover.
Ah!
That's what you mean, right?
That's pretty good.
This song was cool. I mean, it's not cool, but it was like...
It's got booty, booty, booty.
And then there's this.
That's awesome.
It's cutting in and out case.
Good. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. We're listening to it in its optimal form.
And then it kind of gets like more like it sounds like video game music in a good way.
KONKO, what bands did you see at Binghamton? Or who did you watch perform? Anyone interesting?
The only one worthwhile was I saw Tool in 2002 on Halloween night.
I saw Snoop Dogg at Magic City. Or
really?
City, Johnson City, that very small venue out there.
Magic City Warehouse or whatever it was.
I don't know. It was like a bar, but it was Snoop Dogg. It was pretty interesting.
Our freshman year when 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying came out, and I think like the school wasted all their student union budget on getting 50 Cent in security, and the tickets cost like $50 a piece, and nobody went, and it was a big bust.
Wow!
Because everybody it was amazing that we were getting him, but then I'm like, I don't want to pay that, and yeah, that was it. But yeah, Tool was awesome. I remember that vividly, and really cool.
They got like Incubus and Green Day, and I remember just not being interested.
I didn't go to that. Yeah, that was my senior year. Yeah.
Did you have anyone cool play at your place, Case?
Yeah, we had the Roots and Busta Rhymes. That was pretty fun, and that did pretty well. And then we actually had not the year I was there, but the year after me, they had like and Mike Carlo was responsible for getting him. Was Zach Galifianakis came, and that was like at a great time to get him. And like with the piano and stuff like that, and he like requested it had to be like an upright piano at least, or grand, like he wanted grand, but it could be an upright, but he wouldn't perform if it was like an electric.
Okay, right, makes sense.
But they also had Bobby Kelly.
Oh,
okay.
And I remember being like, this guy is so funny. I loved him from that moment. And then he performed on the Joker's Cruise and stuff.
Did you tell him? Did you remind him that or bring it up?
Yeah, anytime I've talked to him, I've been like, dude, I've loved you. I saw you like at my college, like, and he's just like, he probably gets that all the time because he's like constantly working the road. So
yeah.
People have always seen him in that way, but he's cool about it. But it's funny. He's kind of like, oh yeah, do you remember anything I did? Because I think he's the kind of stand-up that like forgets some of his old material. Like even Mark Norman, I was talking to him on the boat, and he was like searching for old material. And I was like, do you ever do this joke? And it was one that I remember from like years ago, a cargo. And he was like, he just grabbed me. He was like, thank you. Like the Mark Norman, like weird, like, are you being sarcastic or?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think we have to reset in a second.
Yeah.
Do you have legal representation at your current job? KONKO?
What?
Do you have
legal representation?
Why?
Do you need it?
What kind of question is that?
Well, I'm just wondering because you're Southern now. You moved to outside of DC.
Yeah, I'm in Northern Virginia.
It's a different ball game down
there.
Wait,
what's the legal representation? What does that mean?
How close are you to Griffin, Georgia?
Probably far. I would assume,
but closer than we are.
We are.
Yeah.
So you should probably hook up with Jody Sellers at the Sellers Law Firm.
Yes, the Sellers Family Law Firm. He handles all manner of criminal defense, family law.
If you have a scambone that might come back to bite you,
Red Bull and Playboy do a joint lawsuit against you.
Why would they do that? That would be really bad.
I know,
but not if you have Jody on your side.
That's right.
That's right.
You can reach him at 770-415-9848.
That's
770-415-9848. KONKO.
And that's a number you won't forget.
770-984-4818.
Yeah, sure.
Is that your grandpa's number?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I think we're going to get kicked off, so we're going to take a break and then come right back. Feel so professional.
That's true. Let's pretend it's not the Zoom practice session ending.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Cool. Yeah.
Sorry, I sent that. I was texting with a friend who I was asking about a book that I had read. And I was like, what was the name of that book?
The Wizard?
No, it was The Alchemist.
I never read that either. I've owned that book for years. Never read that one.
I think I'm looking up the cover of it. Yes, it was The Alchemist. It was.
Paulo Coelho. A lot of people were like, that book changed my life and stuff.
Yeah. So that's like you and I were talking about books we've read.
Oh, wait, do we want to wait? Are we recording or do we want to wait?
No, we're recording and Joe's back, right?
Hey.
Sorry, good.
So Joe, I've been trying to remember books that I've read, which is a thing we've talked about in the past because I've really, I could add my brother's book to that list, which I recommend for everybody.
Nice.
And then I read Of Mice and Men.
Oh, nice. And then
Shane. That was a Farrell book that I think it was like a freshman year book. I was like, I better read it.
Is that about cowboy?
Yeah.
It's about a movie about it.
It's really sad too. All those books that we had to read, any book you have to read for school is always sad. I didn't read Catcher in the Rye, which everybody's like, it was so cool. You should read it.
Were they, or was it the teacher telling you it was so cool?
I think it was probably that.
That was a teenage angsty. I never read it. I know what it's about, but I never read it.
It's one of those books that I think you take different things from it. When you read it as a teen, you like relate to it more, and when you read it as an adult, you're like, this guy's such a little jerk. Is that it?
Yeah, that's. Oh no, I'm trying to remember the other ones.
The Wu-Tang Manual.
Wu-Tang Manual, yeah.
Because that's exactly what KONKO said
Well, your brother said it at your wedding.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That was part of his speech. Yeah, it was part of his speech. Was that Casey's read 2 books, and he's like Wu-Tang Manual and Greek Gods and Myths.
That's right.
And I was like, yes, that's he's absolutely right.
We're really all about that. I think it was Norse gods and myths.
No, it was not Norse. It was Greek gods. Norse gods I don't really know much about. Like I know it's the exact same thing with different names. And I love Greece.
You're more into Greek life.
It's my favorite movie too. And then I'm trying. Oh, The Pearl. That's the other one.
That's a shorty.
Steinbeck, right?
Never read that.
It's a shorty. Like that makes a difference.
I remember that one.
Sorry, I didn't read
a pamphlet.
Infinite really. Jest like you, Joe.
Sorry.
Joe, really have you read that?
Yeah.
That sits on a bookshelf and just mocks me and is like, have fun.
That's a typical story. That's a tale as old as time.
Is it really hard to get through?
Maybe the first couple hundred pages before you kind of latch on to how it like what it's about and how it's being delivered.
Okay.
And then I couldn't put it down after that, you know.
That's a fun feeling, huh?
I find most books you need to kind of crack into and like get into the rhythm of them. And then once you do, you can't put them down. But there's always a bit of a curve in the beginning, you know, depending.
It's funny because my family like loves books. I was talking to my brother about like, I was like, oh, the book must be doing well because everybody's like home. And he's like, yes. And so people can order it, but like bookstores are closed. And he's like, I mostly get my books like at an airport. Like if I'm going to fly somewhere, I love going to the airport and looking at books and being like, oh, this is out, and grabbing it and like starting it on the airplane and then like reading it on that trip. And that's how I remember books. And like, that's part of the fun of them. And he's like, people aren't flying as much, so they're not getting that. And like, that's not flying for me. Flying for me is like finding albums to like listen to, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And like I go there for like beef jerky and water, not for books.
Hooking up to tech.
Yeah.
And eating jerky. Yeah,
Buying a $70 phone charger.
Oh God, I feel dumber when I don't read. I feel like I need to rejuvenate my senses and read something sometimes.
Yeah, you were saying that you wanted to read more just because we're stuck at home and it kind of opens up your mind to like other places. That's how my mom felt like growing up, like on her block in Staten Island. She like wanted to like read to like so she could travel anywhere.
Yeah.
And she still reads like 3 books a week.
But I haven't really finished anything. There's a bunch of stuff I'm like in the middle of, you know. I haven't finished anything in a while.
Yeah. I feel that way now with like those Zelda games. Like I've been really going through them, and there's one I'm like in the middle of now that I love. But like with the dog, I haven't had a lot of time. And it's a kind of thing where like with a book sometimes, like I guess you could just kind of pick it up and read a few pages here and there, but you'd want to like a session, right? Do you feel that way?
Depends. Not always.
You sometimes are just like, oh, I'll pick it up and like you could dive back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like that. I need to like, at least with books or with like video games, I need like, oh, I have like an hour I could like play for a while and maybe even go longer.
You want to hear some weird like I guess folklore maybe about Super Mario 64?
Okay.
That just came out like this week.
Peace sign?
No.
Oh.
You know, when it came out, there was all this talk about like, where's Luigi? There's all these other characters, but like Luigi's not here. And there's like a statue of a star in the courtyard of the castle. And you know how like if you remember the signs in the game were like scribbled in a way that like was very low resolution, so you couldn't quite make it out. Mm-hmm. People swore they like deciphered it, and they swore it said L is real 2401. And they're like, that means Luigi is in the game somewhere. And just last week, 24 years and 1 month, 2401 after the game was released, they found the code for Luigi in the game files, and they cracked it, and Luigi was real. He was in the game. Like the files, the character model of Luigi. Isn't that weird?
Wait, where was he?
It was just like, you know, encrypted in the code. And someone, and like, I don't know if it was like leaked by Nintendo or someone found it, but it happened to coincide with 24 years and 1 month. 2401. It's really weird.
That's really weird.
And it's just one of those things. It's probably nothing, but it's like very, very coincidental because L is real 2401 has been around for that long, or at least for like, you know, 10 years or something.
Well, there's this other thing in like I watched these weird videos too, and I watched this one that for Zelda for the 64 one, Ocarina of Time, where you could buy different masks, even like, you know, and there's one that looks like the girl in like the Lon Lon Ranch girl. Mm-hmm. And
Marl?
if you and if you see her dad and you put it on, he's like, you look like my daughter or whatever, and you talk to her and it's like, you look like me. And then she doesn't have a mom, but she's got red hair. And if you go to like everyone else doesn't really say anything about it except for like you have a mask on. But if you go to that like what's that like kind of the villagey area called?
Kakariko?
No, the like that tribal area.
Gerudo Valley?
Yeah, there's a Gerudo woman who, if you talk to her with the mask on, she's like, that looks like me, but that's not me. But if you look really hard, that looks like me. And people are like, that's the mother, and they can't be together because he's like this man and she's like from this Gerudo tribe. And it's like this weird like subplot that they don't even, but they allude to. That's how much depth these people put into games.
What do you mean
it's
these
incredible.
People? What do you mean these games?
Japanese people. I mean, basically, they're making these incredible games. You got to give them. I'm not even profiling. I just got to give them respect. Isn't that cool though? I love like little Easter eggs that like
yours. I got lost with yours, but Joe's made sense.
You have to like, all right. So what you have to do to figure that out, you buy a mask and then you go around just talking to every person you could talk to, and then someone did that enough in this like faraway land where you could bring the mask whenever and talk to them with it. And then someone deciphered like there's this sort of mother-father thing that's like has nothing to do with the gameplay. It's just
a nice bit of folklore. I've been playing Wario's Woods. Have you guys ever played that one?
No.
Nope.
It's on Nintendo Switch's NES thing. And it's the last NES game to ever be released, the last licensed game in 1994. And it's crazy to think that they made an NES game officially licensed by Nintendo in 94, and 2 years later, 64 came out. 2 years later. It's just
that is weird because not even a Super NES?
No, it's NES.
So it's wow. So there's wow. That's really weird. So
And
way
it's a
into the
fucking
Super
creepy
Nintendo.
game. It's a good game. It's like a Tetris game, except you're Toad and you walk around on the field and have to like move things around like as a person.
That's
and this
really
creepy
honoring.
Fairy turns you into a mushroom if you don't solve the puzzle. It's really dark in a way.
That's really honoring the customer.
Yeah,
that bought the NES and is like, oh, I have like this defunct system, but it's not.
Apparently, they're still making Wii games for people like your mom still plays Wii, right?
She still has it. I think she would do it to exercise, but not even anymore. But she still has it set up. They watch like movies with it. I think. Okay. If you can do that, yeah, I think so.
They get Netflix discs in the mail.
They get my screeners, my Writers Guild screeners.
Good.
That's like the only gift I could give them.
Writers Guild or SAG?
Writers Guild.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
I have a Netflix
since
disc.
Fallon. I've had that.
Oh yeah.
I had to join for Fallon, and then I've had little things here and there that have been like quote unquote guild.
That's cool. I
like
forgot about
game
that.
show guild kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying?
What kind of streamers do they have?
None. It's just the same. It's the writing guild, but you just get paid way less.
Okay.
There's the scale is like it's game show scale. But I think they did something similar with the 3DS stuff. Like Switch came out and they were still making games for like 3DS and that kind of, and like the other system. What's the one? Wii U?
Yeah.
They still make stuff for Wii U.
Do you have any free time anymore, Konko? Having a child?
Yeah, I do. It's I don't know, my days are pretty balanced. There's nothing like that crazy about it. And he's at his grandma's now. I pick him up at 4, bring him back, then we eat, and then I don't know. It's been like pretty easy going.
Do you bring him to grandma just to like give you guys some time to work and like or socialization?
Yeah, it's impossible to take care of a kid and for both of us to work at the same time.
It's so funny that and you're just fucking around on this podcast.
Well,
it's so funny. I could see. You usually turn them down.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. I was saying before, I still have a Netflix disc of Bad Lieutenant, double-sided, that I never returned, and I wonder if they charged me for that. Yeah.
Wow.
Double-sided. I didn't even know they made double-sided DVDs.
Yeah, Goodfellas was double-sided.
Was it like widescreen and full screen? Is that
I think so, yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a double-sided VHS. And you're like, what?
That can't be.
No, I don't think. Oh,
that would not work.
Why not?
It just doesn't go in that way.
Well,
but how come regular
can't it work on both sides? Like a cassette plate? Like a cassette tape can be on both sides. Why can't a VHS?
On one side of VHS.
Right.
Or maybe not.
Maybe that was beta, Max?
That's what I'm saying. You take off the flat part on the top and you can flip it on either.
That's a good question.
I'm just saying it's probably possible. If it could work with a cassette tape. I don't know.
I wonder what the last official VHS was.
Oh, great question. Because there's no one.
What do you think it is? And
well, because here's the thing, right? Like bands will still put stuff out as like a nostalgic niche thing. They'll put it on a cassette tape, like modern bands for fun. But I don't think any like movie maker is going to be like putting out a VHS. But I could see maybe like for Prisoners, maybe they have like a VHS thing, like they have cassette tapes for like prison tapes.
What do you think is?
So they don't break?
Huh?
So they don't break the disc and stab each other with it?
I think that's kind of the reason, yeah.
But they could break the VHS open and then strangle each other with the inside of it.
Yeah.
That'd be tough, but yeah, maybe.
Well, let's say that the last studio film, the last major release on VHS.
But also I could see for like certain like maybe third world countries, they want to like get the numbers still high, so they'll still do VHS releases just in case, you know what I mean? Because maybe there are some places that haven't adopted.
If that's the way you want to go with it, sure. But I don't think that's happening.
I'm serious. I'm gonna say like The Shape of Water had a VHS.
Okay, all right. That's a
really
Hail Mary.
What was the last VHS that you bought? That non-ironically, like you went to the store and Blockbuster when Blockbuster was open, you bought it.
I remember.
Let me think. Because I'm picturing the closet in my parents' house that has like DVDs and VHSs. Because that's the other thing is like DVDs became this collector thing. And it's the most embarrassing collection that people have now. Like I remember like Billy Gags and Greg Benedetto.
Oh, yeah.
And Greg had like an insane thing too. He like, I think he like, didn't Greg like not have a lot of money, but he still was buying DVDs constantly? You remember it? He was like trying to like sell weed to like buy more DVDs. It's like, it's like, how much money does Kevin Smith need? Like, relax, Greg. But Billy had like the best DVD collection in the world. And I remember I asked him recently, like, I was like, where's your collection? And I think he was offloading a lot of it. But
all this trauma.
But a lot of that stuff you can't get streaming, or like you could get it streaming now for a little bit, but then it's like they take it away, or it's not on. It's like off of. It's like going to be an exclusive on HBO Max in like 2 years, so you can't even get it right now. So it's good to have the DVDs.
Do you remember filming things from like USA Network on like a VHS? Like the Terminator was on, and I like wanted to film it so I could watch it again when I was a kid. Terminator 1, because I saw 2. I had 2 on VHS, but I never saw 1, so I taped it on USA and like had to cut out the commercials and stuff. Did you guys do any of that stuff?
Big time. I have at my house in my room. I have a like a, what do you call it? A burnt VHS? What do you call it?
A burnt. Yeah.
What do you call it? Burnt CD?
Tape.
Yeah, like a one that you buy. That's I don't even know what you call it. A VHS tape.
Blank. Like a TDK
blank
thing. Yeah.
Blank VHS, and it just says SNL Chris Farley. It's like when he hosted.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I have that one on there with all the commercials and like it was taped from when it was live. And like I haven't watched it, but
commercials are like vintage clothes to me. Like at the time they're not cool, but then give them enough years and like I want to watch these commercials again.
It is. Yeah, it's
I'm
so
very
true.
Curious.
It's my favorite thing.
Lisa and I will put on like old in the morning sometimes, like on a Saturday, we'll put on like 120 minutes MTV.
Yeah,
they keep the commercials in that. That's always we get more excited for the commercials than we do like the actual music videos or show.
I like to put on like children's toy commercials from my era too, just to see what was out. What
Crossfire.
What kind of tech there was? Yeah,
the Crossfire commercial's good. We were just watching the Crocodile Mile.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crocodile
so many of them were insane, like overselling what this thing can do. And then you'd get it and you'd be like, this is just like a hunk of plastic.
Constant disappointment.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Coney Island commercials for Astroland that they used to put on like Pix 11? And it was like, come to Coney Island. And then they used to play like all these old timey people at Coney Island. Then they would be like, Coney Island on the spinny thing. Yeah.
Spinny thing. Yeah. I do remember.
Yeah. It was like people like they would come out of a slide and then they go all over the place.
But that's disappointing because they don't have those. They didn't have those.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
So I wanted to be on that thing.
There was another local commercial that was maybe Gold's Diner or a diner or somewhere in Staten Island.
Golden's
Deli with this train in it.
Yeah, but there was maybe it's not for that, but it was the music.
Delicious.
The music was the song, that old school like. Whatever that song was went to the commercial.
In the Mood by Glenn Miller.
Yes, but do you remember what business it was?
Yeah, Golden's.
It was
Deli, yeah.
Golden's Deli.
And Roland Roaster used to have one too, a commercial.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was good. I remember it was, and they had like a phrase that was like, "It's finger licking good, but not that." I wonder.
It was the one on Highland Boulevard.
Yeah, New Dorp Lane, right?
No, it was by Lee's. Seaview. Yeah, right over there.
And there was one in the Pergament Mall.
There was one there, yes.
The last VHS major release was in 2006.
Shape of Water.
The David Cronenberg film, A History of Violence.
So they don't even make them anymore.
I mean, no, you can buy blank VHS tapes. They don't release them. Studios don't release them.
I'm surprised. I'm actually really surprised that they don't.
You should write a letter. You should write an old-fashioned letter.
Okay.
And mail it to them.
Done. All right. Let's see if this works now because I got the Roland Roaster commercial. But the audio didn't work last time, right?
It might be better.
No, it didn't.
It's YouTube now, though. So let's see.
You can optimize it for sharing.
Can you hear it? Oh, I can. Did you hear that?
No. Looks like Stevie Nicks on the left.
How do I optimize?
Freddie Mercury in the middle. Do you have an
Optimize. Yes. I hit that. Okay, let's see if this works. Probably won't.
Nope.
Can you hear it?
Dead silent.
All right, we'll just talk over it.
Celebrating 39 years.
When's the last time you ate at Roll and Roaster, Casey?
There's only one location left in Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah.
Not near NYU?
No, that's the poorhouse now. Or actually,
okay,
it might have closed.
Yeah.
So
that's the video of you, Casey, where you're running in and out. We were eating there together. Joe was there, Pat, everybody, and you're like, "Hey, everybody!" and you kept running in and out like crazy, and like they got mad at you. I'm pretty sure that was Roll and Roaster.
Well, Roll and Roaster was incredible. That was the Scambone because they would never card you. So there are all these bars in New York City that we couldn't go to as underage drinkers, but then we'd go to Roll and Roaster, and if you ordered enough food and ordered a pitcher, they would just
pitcher of Yinglings.
Yeah, that was great, and it was $8 pitchers.
Oh, so good.
So the Roll and Roaster theme song, which you couldn't hear, was "Not So Fast, Roll and Roaster." And I always remember being like, why are you claiming that it's not so fast? Like, I understand what you're saying, like it's not fast food, but you're
food quickly.
It's making it seem like it takes a long time to make in a bad way.
Right.
Like, not so fast, Roll and Roaster.
KONKO,
confusing.
You're like kind of the archivist of the group in a way. You have a lot of old digital camera videos of things.
And they're sitting in a old cigar box and like wine box at my mom's house, and they're waiting to give to Casey so he can digitize them.
Yeah,
if he wants to.
Yes, I'll do it. Or actually, you know what? Back to Greg Benedetto. He does this as a side hustle. He's done it for all the Jokers
to buy more DVDs.
Can we please do this? To buy more Kevin Smith DVDs. Yeah. Can you wait? Let's really make sure that we do that.
Okay.
There's like you made like a almost like the history of Casey or something, and it's just like
there's an intimate moment with Casey Jones.
That's it.
Yep. That's so old. That's so old. That's on that's Windows Media video file. Yeah.
Wow. Wait.
It's retro.
Like that's how you edited it?
Yeah. That's why like the quality's terrible.
Because it got compressed like crazy.
Yeah, it's very compressed, but you get the gist of it.
I'm realizing now I really followed in your footsteps for a bunch of things. Like for that kind of stuff, filming things. I love now to document. I have like a treasure trove of like videos and stuff. I think I picked it up from you.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, you're like a mentor or an older.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, thanks, fellas.
Older figure for us to follow in the footsteps of.
Even my hair followed your hair.
Well, not now.
It looks good now. Well, now I just got a cut. It's really short.
I guess you're right.
Your hair looks great, Konk.
You guys have a similar wave.
Yeah. We're inverse. We've always said that we're inverses.
Yes. So does that mean in like 5 years you'll be working for a technology company?
Well, whatever the inverse is. Like,
yeah, what do you do? I've never.
Nobody knows.
I've never ever known what you do for a living.
I'm a consultant.
Okay, good. Makes sense.
That's so funny.
The biggest title that there is.
I do some consulting. I'm a waste management consultant.
You got a no-show job?
I just watched Remember When.
What is it? Remember When is the worst form of conversation?
Lowest form of conversation.
Yeah.
He's in Miami, right?
Yeah. So I find it now, like coming back on this is probably my fourth rewatch. I almost want to like fast forward through certain parts, like Sopranos home movies, like the fight between him and Bobby is so ridiculous and so like uncomfortable. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch this.
Oh no, I loved it. Actually, this
Whitecaps is like E. Falco's like unbelievable acting, and like that is probably the best acted episode. But yeah, that's like if I wasn't in the mood to watch it the other day, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch Whitecaps now. Like, I gotta be mentally prepared for this.
I know. I look forward. I always like. I definitely felt that I was more awake after some episodes in a way that I would be watching it before bed, and Lisa and I would be like jacked up. But then it's pretty easy to just jump into a new episode, and they always kind of start pretty like they like ease you into it, and then you can stop at a nice part, you know.
David Chase was saying how pleasantly surprised he was that The Sopranos continues to like find a young audience and like maintain relevancy in a way, you know, like. People still talk about it. People still watch it for the first time or for the fifth time, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the best.
the quarantine helped with them giving it away for free. My sister never watched it, never cared about it, and she was like, "Oh my god, I just watched this," and I'm like,
"Welcome, you've been inducted."
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I felt. Like growing up, I thought it was like something different than what it is. Like everybody in Staten Island liked it, and like I felt like enough of a counterculture that I was like, oh, like if everybody in Staten Island likes it, I don't like it, and it's just good drama. It doesn't matter that it's like it was a bunch of like tough guys liked it as well,
and of course Konko's AIM name, his screen name was Bada Binghamton.
Yeah, that is true,
which was brilliant.
That's a full circ,
and it was so perfectly relevant at the time for the place you were. The show was like on the air. Like it doesn't.
Remember, I wanted to give it to you. I wanted to like gift it to you because you still had 2 years, and then I think like then you'd have all my AIM conversations and whatever, and I'm like, no, that might be a bad idea.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
You gifted me your senior sweater.
Yes,
but the problem was it was gigantic.
Okay,
because you got
Alan
it from
Sang. Alan Sang gave me that. Yes,
and he was tall too.
Yeah.
And so the two of you were pretty tall, and I remember like I was swimming in it. So my senior year, I mostly wore a suit jacket instead of like the senior or the Farrell sweater. So other seniors would be like, "Why are you wearing that? Why don't you wear your senior sweater?" And I was like, "No,
the
I'm
passing
cool."
down of a torch is really sweet. I'm glad that you did that.
Yeah.
Did either of you have any yellow shirts? I never had a yellow shirt.
Never had the yellow shirt. So yellow shirt at Farrell was like a rite of passage. Like it means you had like an older sibling or relative that went to Farrell and had this type of polo shirt. You had to buy it all from the same place, basically.
It was faded yellow. It was like a gross faded yellow.
That's what's so cool about Farrell at the time. Like the dress code was there, but it was a little bit. Oh, we lost Konko.
Like we lost him?
I don't see him.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, but at Farrell, there was this different, it was this interesting thing of like, within having a uniform, people would find their own ways to like for identity,
Right. Exactly.
But like find new ways. Here he is.
Hey, lost you for a sec.
Sorry. I took a call.
It's okay. That was quick.
Never do that again.
No, he keeps calling. Hold on. Decline. There we go.
Is it your boss? You don't have a boss.
No,
your son? Is it your son?
I think it's CBS.
We were just saying that at Farrell, like there was a dress code, but it was kind of loose. You could wear, off season, like, or a different year uniform, like that yellow shirt, or like.
Did you wear black Reeboks, Konk?
No, I didn't. The bad kids did that. That was a bad kid thing.
The bad kids did. You had to wear like dress shoes, but if like a lot of kids would like try to get away with like these like black Reeboks, that like the nurse sneakers, but like black.
Which like who are you tricking with that?
And yeah, I mean, I guess they are more comfortable. So I get it to a certain degree, but it was kind of like, who are you trying to look cool for if it's not about comfort?
No, because you wanted to flex and you wanted to stand out.
Right. You're right.
You have to, yeah. This is.
It was a prison. It was prison.
Yeah.
So what you would do is, I wore lugs my freshman year. Remember lugs boots?
Yes, of course. I have a pair.
Which kind of counted as like dress shoes, I guess. I got away with those.
Yeah.
And then I would like doodle on my shoes. Like I would draw things on them. And then when Wu-Tang Wallabies came out, that was like the greatest.
Yes.
And everybody had those.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was mainly. And I don't know if you could wear Timbs. Yeah, it was just Wu-Tang. It was the Wallabies. And you could wear black Wallabies and the brown ones and get away with it.
I don't remember anyone wearing those my year.
I had slip-on dress shoes, I think, like my last 2 years. And so they were like Payless slip-ons. And I felt like those were very comfortable. And I got the feeling of they didn't look good at all. And my dad bought them like too big. My dad has always bought like wide shoes. Like he always needs to buy shoes that are extra wide.
That's funny.
Which is just probably means like he's got like a real wide penis, right? Is that the
width of your shoe?
Right? That's how they determine it.
Birth.
But yeah, so they were just like boat shoes. They were just like I had two boats on my feet. But then I always liked I didn't like the sweater. I always liked the suit jacket, even though I was always kind of cold. The sweater was a nice warmth.
I liked the sweater because I was like just so looking forward to being a senior that I was like excited to wear one.
Yeah. No, but even you're the other sweaters like the
V-neck. You used to rip it. You would rip the V-neck a little bit down, and then it kind of like split, and that meant you were cool.
Yeah, it was called like making it hardcore or something. There was a word for it.
Really? There was? I did not know that.
Yeah,
I thought that was
there definitely wasn't a word for it.
There was my year at least. You want to be hardcore?
Well, there was another thing where, if the pocket on the dress shirts, people would like rip it off, and usually it would just come straight off. I remember someone came up to the hallway to me and just ripped it off, and I was like, "What the? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter." Like it didn't.
Yeah.
But then somebody tried to do it to Bazooms, and it ripped like a clean tit, like it ripped open. So there was just a clean tit falling out.
Yeah, tit window.
It was pretty funny, and it just like things like that kept happening to Bazooms.
I feel like I've told this one before, but some kids, when they forgot their tie, would make one out of loose leaf and like just the top of a tie and wear that.
I've seen that attempt. I've seen it.
It's great, man.
I used to get in trouble all the time. So I loved when kids would like be freaked out about like something like, "Oh, I forgot my shoes," or "I forgot my tie. I can't find it." And like, they were like, "I'm going to get detention." And I'm like,
first time
every
ever.
day of my life. And I remember being like, who gives a shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like I loved having that moment of being like, yeah, you know what it's like to be in there every single day of your life. It's fine. You could do one day. It's not a big deal.
One of the members of our Marco Polo group found a replica of the giant NSYNC pen that you got in trouble
Pencil.
with. Yeah, pencil.
So, KONKO, just to remind people, I one time got thrown out of religion class by Mother Queen, aka Father King, because I was using a novelty-sized NSYNC pencil.
How did you sharpen it?
I couldn't. You just had to like cut it with like a scissor, and then I didn't use it much. But it was also a day where I just didn't have a pen, and I wasn't even trying to be a dick, and I was just like had to write something down, so I was using it, and then the entire class was laughing, and I like kind of obviously liked that, and I was just using it, and then Mother Queen was like, "Get out, 3 days detention," and I was like, I'm not even doing anything this time. And I was so mad at him
this time.
I was like, I'm not even doing anything this time. I remember being like this, like I'm getting thrown out because of this. It's the only pencil I have. And it was true. And I really felt like that was a day that justice was not served.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything, and I didn't do nothing. Or like, I didn't do anything. Well, Father, I didn't do anything. It's like 4 days detention. But Father,
make it 5.
I only went to detention a handful of times, and it was fun. I flew under the radar.
I don't remember why I went. It's such a waste of time. That's the thing.
Bringing it back to Playboy, somebody had a Playboy in detention, and I think Mr. Cummings walked out, and then literally like, guy brings it out of his backpack, and he's like, "Hey, look at this! Hey, would you check it out?" And like the centerfold falls down.
So funny.
And all of us in detention are like, "You stop! You're gonna get us all. We're gonna be here 10 more days. Like stop it!" And we're trying to stop.
That one kid in the corner, bro, put it away.
Yeah,
There's always like the voice of reason.
Right. I love.
What happened? Did he get caught?
No, we didn't get caught. And then I remember the tie thing, where you would take the fabric out of the bottom of your tie, you'd open it up, and then you'd lick it, and then you throw it on the back of the person's head or desk or whatever.
In many ways, high school is like oral tradition at its finest. Like these stories and these like little techniques get passed down, grade to grade, and like you see, I wonder what's survived and what hasn't, and what's come full circle.
Phones have changed everything, though.
Yeah.
I can't. That's got to be bad.
I'm just laughing because I remember like, obviously like, ratting on someone else would be something like, I remember freshman year, sophomore year, like you never rat on another kid, but then like something changed in like junior year where like the bullies were ratting in a way where people weren't doing something. So I remember like someone being like, be like, "Mrs. Muskovic, I think Mr. Barsoom has a cheat sheet." Be like, yeah. "I think Mr. Barsoom has a cheat sheet." And everyone would stop laughing because it would be like a kid that was clearly like the one who was cheating, like calling out someone who was not. And then the teacher would be like, "Thank you, Mr. Young," or something, and then go over and like investigate. It'd be like the kid, like Bazooms would be like, I don't have anything at all. He's the one who's doing. He cheats on every test, you know. But it was so funny to be like, it'd be like, you know, like, you know, excuse me, Mr. Mizzy is raising his voice, like just like it being like just like that other side of it, you know, like knowingly being such a dick. Oh, so funny. Farrell was so funny.
It changed everything about how I viewed like systems. I love Farrell. I love everything about Farrell, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so dumb. It was so dumb. It was so.
I almost wish I was worse. I wish I like got into more trouble. I don't feel like I didn't get in enough trouble. Or like I don't know.
I think I split the difference pretty well.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't think I did anything
by
like,
teachers.
Yeah, some of them.
You drove Mybauer crazy, Casey.
I did.
Yeah.
So Mr. Mybauer was our math teacher and our swim coach. And what did I do?
You just were you were nuts. You would miss practice because you would have detention, or like you would like show up to swim practice, not jump in the pool for like a half hour, do a couple laps, like clog up a lane, and then like go upstairs and just like hang out in the locker room.
Yeah, I did that.
And you were a great diver. Like you were an okay swimmer, but like you were a great diver.
But it was funny because I used to hate swim practice, and I did remember like Scott was the real just coaching everyone. Yeah. Mybauer really didn't coach, but so I used to actually feel bad like if I was interrupting Scott in some way.
Yeah.
Like I respected Scott. So like if there was a thing like if I was at practice and then I was joking around and then like I would just involve Pat and Joe Caps and you, like I would do it because it was fun, but then I could tell Scott was like the practices are worse when you're here.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But you're right. I definitely would like do a few laps and be like, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And just hang upstairs by myself, or just like sit in the hot water shower for like 5 minutes.
You did one play, KONKO, right? You did Fiorello?
No, I was in Hello Dolly.
Hello Dolly.
With Casey.
Oh, you starred in that, yeah. Right?
Yes, and you and Greg.
No, I wasn't in it, but I saw.
You weren't in it?
You really weren't in one of the Farrell ones?
No, I never did Farrell. That was a Hill play, girls' school.
How did you get roped into that one?
I think Casey and Greg were like, "You should do this," and I'm like, "All right, I'll just show up," and that was it.
I mean, there were like girls in it. It was like fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Of course. And it was so that's the other thing that we don't talk enough about, Joe, is like play practices. Like they were so fun. And like sometimes like a Saturday one, you'd be like, "Oh, a Saturday practice." And those were the best.
Yeah. Cause we'd be like barbecuing in between scenes. Cause like most of the time we'd have like one scene or something. I liked that I didn't have like a main role. That was like Joey Lento was the lead. I could just like show up for one line and then go hang out with everyone.
The best.
Yeah.
I gave KONKO notes.
Yes.
Do you still have them?
Yeah, I do.
Notes?
So like
Hello Dolly?
Yeah, leading up to the show. Like at a practice, he was like, "Can you give me like some notes or something?" Like,
don't look at me.
How I'm doing.
So
don't look at me.
During
don't
scenes.
Laugh at me.
No,
Stop
it was
being
like
so stiff.
It was like no something voice.
No Robert Goulet.
No Robert Goulet. I think because I think he thought acting was like just being like, "Hello," you know, like it's his anyone's first play. You just think like acting is just like, "Welcome back, everyone," you know.
So that was your first and only play, right?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And you were like one of the leads.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think I remember. I think that like bothered Greg. I think Greg wanted to be the lead of every play and like. Never got it.
It's different. It's a different vibe because when Farrell would have a play, several girls' schools would come, and it would be kind of this like mishmash, right? But when like Hill would do a play, there would be like 5 boys in it. You know, the ratio would be off, and like a ton of women, ton of girls. So and they would always be kind of like almost like because of those restrictions in a way, they always felt a little more limited than the Farrell productions. I feel like there were less people involved
in the Farrell ones.
Than the Farrell ones. I feel like the Hill ones seemed less involved in a way. No?
Yeah. I can't tell.
We had a pretty robust theater program. Like it was, I don't know. It
seemed I feel like Farrell had some big production.
Exactly.
Farrell had like, you'd get the best, you almost got a better female lead. show because you're pulling from all the schools. Whereas
exactly.
The other ones, like if you did the Villa or Hill Play, you're like the best of that school, and then
you're also pulling from the most boys to be.
It was only Farrell guys at both those schools. Do you remember any other kid?
No,
maybe one or two, but weird.
We're gonna be.
All right, well that's it, folks. I love you all. KONKO, thank you much for being here.
Yeah,
thank you very much for having me.
We look forward to some more consulting.
Yeah, you get brought up so much on this podcast that it's good that
Can you be our podcast consultant?
To have you.
I have not. I've only listened to like 3 episodes, and now do I have to go back?
Nope.
We'll give you notes on this. I won't.
Just check out Jody Sellers.
Yep.
Okay.
7.
Yep. That's it. 7. It's just 7. Just type 7.
Yeah, 777.
The VHS
7
of the movie 7. Bye, guys.
Bye.